Praise the Lord, everyone. Today in this class, we are going to learn about class 11 geography, book 2, that is India Physical Environment, chapter number 2. And the name of the second chapter is called India Structure and Physiography, part 3. So, the fourth physical feature of India that we are going to learn in this class is about the peninsular plateaus. So if you talk about the peninsular plateaus of India, it is a irregular triangle in shape. So if you talk about the shape of peninsular plateau, it is a irregular triangle in shape. So this is the location of peninsular plateau, and if we talk about the shape of this peninsular plateau, it is irregular triangle in shape. So this particular peninsular plateau was formed due to the breaking and drifting of Gondwana land. So before 250 million years ago, in this world we have a one big continent. We have only one big continent, that is called Pangaea, or the supercontinent, and we have only one big sea, and the name of that sea is called Pandalasa. Before 200 million years ago, this Pangaea, or the supercontinent, was detached or disintegrated into two big land masses, that is Laurasia and the Gondwana land. So if we talk about the Peninsular Plateau of India, it is a part of Gondwana land. So this is the Peninsular Plateau of India. So this Peninsular Plateau of India drifted or moved towards the Eurasian plate, towards the Eurasian plate. It further moved toward the Eurasian plate, and it collided with Eurasian plate, and finally it collided with the Eurasian plate, and after that the Himalayan mountains and the northern plains were formed because of the collision between the Eurasian plate and the Indian plate. So if we talk about if we compare between the other physical features of India, this peninsular plateau of India is much older than other physical features of India. Why? Means if we talk about Himalayan formation of Himalayan mountains and the Great Northern Plains, so all these physical features of India were formed after the collision of this one, the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. That shows this peninsular plateau of India is much older than other physical features of India or other physiographic divisions of India. The peninsular plateau is further divided into two broad divisions. They are called the Central Highland and the Deccan Plateau. So here we are going to learn, first we are going to learn about the Central Highland, and next we are going to learn about the characteristics or the features of the Deccan Plateau. So if you talk about the Central Highland, it is the part of Peninsular Plateau lying towards the north of Narmada River. So this is the location of Narmada River. So if you talk about the location of Central Highland, it is located north of Narmada River. So this is the Peninsular Plateau, location of Peninsular Plateau. It is an irregular triangle in shape. And if you talk about the Peninsular Plateau, it is further divided into two, the Central Highland and the Deccan Plateau. And if we talk about the location of Central Highland, it is located north of Narmada River. So this particular blue line shows the river Narmada. So Peninsular Plateau, Central Highland is located north of Narmada River. So this is the location of Central Highland, and it is covering the major in Central Highland. We have many plateaus such as Bundelkhand Plateau, Chota Nagpur Plateau, and Malwa Plateau, and this Central Highland is covering most of the Malwa Plateaus, and this is called as the Central Highland. This is called as the Central Highland. So if we talk about the Central Highland, Vindhya Range. So this is the location of Vindhya Range. Vindhya Range is bounded by the Central Highland to south. So if we talk about the south of Central Highland, we have a mountain range that is called Vindhya Range, and towards the west we have a oldest mountain range of India that is called Aravalli Range. So if we talk about the westernmost boundary of Central Highland, we have a hill range or mountain range that is called Aravalli Range. This Aravalli Range is the oldest mountain range of India. Towards the eastward extension of this plateau are locally east. If we move towards the east, we have other plateaus such as Bundelkhand, Baghilkhand, and Chotanagpur Plateau. So if we these all plateaus, four plateaus, are collectively known as the Central Highland. Next, we are going to learn about the Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that lies towards the south of Narmada River. So this is the location of Deccan Plateau. And if we talk about the location of Deccan Plateau, it is located south of Narmada River. So here we have Narmada River. Towards the south of Narmada River, we have, if we talk about the location of Deccan Plateau, it is located south of Narmada River. Deccan Plateau is higher in the west and slope gently towards the east. So if we talk about the uh, relief feature of Deccan Plateau, it is much higher in the west. It is much higher in the west, and it is much lower if we move towards the east. So how we can know the elevation or the relief feature of Deccan Plateau means by studying the map. So dark brown height above 12,000 meters above sea level, and light shaded one, that is between 600 to 1200 meters above sea level. Likewise, so by if we talk about the this one altitude or the relief feature of this one Deccan Plateau, it is much higher at the west, and it slopes gently towards the east. So this is it much Deccan Plateau is much higher at the west, and it slopes gently towards the east. Because of that, most of the rivers in Peninsular Plateaus are moving originated from Western Ghat, and they are flowing towards the eastward. That shows the relief feature of Deccan Plateau. So that is the another way we can understand the relief feature or the height of the Deccan Plateau. Towards the west of Deccan Plateau, we have a hill range that is called Western Ghat. Towards the east of Deccan Plateau, we have another hill range that is called Eastern Ghat. So towards the west of Deccan Plateau, we have a Western Ghat, and towards the east of Deccan Plateau, we have Eastern Ghats. Ghats here means hills. So towards the east of this one, Deccan Plateau, we have hill ranges that they are called Eastern Ghats, and towards the west of Deccan Plateau, we have another hill ranges. They are called Western Ghats. So here we are going to compare, or we are going to distinguish between the features or the characteristics of Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats lies parallel to west coast. So this is the location of Western Ghats. Western Ghats. So if you talk about the location of Western Ghats, it lies parallel. So here we have west coast. Coast means those area which are very close to sea or water or ocean. That is called these physical features are called coast. So if we talk about the location of Western Ghat, it lies parallel to west coast. And if you talk about the location of Eastern Ghats, it lies parallel to east coast. Western Ghat, they are more continuous. This mountain range or hill range is more continuous as compared to Eastern Ghats, more continuous, and we can go from here to here, from one point of Western Ghat to another point of Western Ghat through passes only. Passes means navigable routes. Eastern Ghats, they are discontinuous. They are, so as compared to Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats are discontinuous, and they are dissected by rivers. So in between the these one ranges, hill ranges, the rivers are flowing. Rivers are originated from Western Ghat, and they are finally flowing towards the eastwards, and they are flowing. They are discharging in Bay of Bengal, and they are dissected by, so these discontinuous ranges are dissected by rivers, and these rivers are mostly draining or discharging in Bay of Bengal. Western Ghats are much higher. So if we talk about the height of these two Ghats or hill ranges, Western Ghats are much higher than Eastern Ghats. The average height of this Western Ghats is between 900 to 1600 meters above sea level. And if we talk about the height or the altitude of Eastern Ghats, Eastern Ghats are much lower than Western Ghats. The average height or the elevation is 600 meters above sea level. That shows the Western Ghats are much higher than Eastern Ghats. Some of the important hills or the peaks in Western Ghats, such as Anyamoti. So these are some of the important peaks in Western Ghats, such as Anyamoti. The height is 2,695 meters above sea level. Dotapeta, the height is 2,637 meters above sea level. So in Western Ghats, Anyamoti is the highest peak in Western Ghats. And if we talk about the highest peak of Eastern Ghat, it is called Mahindaragiri. The height is 1,501 meter above sea level. So Mahindaragiri is the highest peak in Eastern Ghat. So these are some of the differences or the characteristics of Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Thank you.